Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, it was supposed to be a first impressions, but the file got corrupted and it didn't work out. So this is actually the second time I'm filming this. So it's not exactly a first impressions video. It kind of is, but it's really like a second impression. So you guys are getting a little bit more of an educated thought as opposed to me just jumping into a first impressions. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching. And please don't forget to subscribe because I do upload 3 times a week. And that is the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified every time I upload, which is once again 3 times a week. I'm not going to ramble anymore. Let's jump right into the video. All right, I know I will have said this in the intro, even though I haven't filmed that yet, but because the footage wasn't usable, these are technically going to be second impressions, but the upside to that is it means that I will be a little more educated this time around into maybe why these products didn't work out and try them in a little bit different of a way. This is the Dior Universal Backstage Face and Body Primer. Supposedly it is going to blur and smooth and mattify. Definitely feels like it has a little bit of a powder finish. So I'm already enjoying the texture of this primer. And I'm going to be following that up with the Givenchy Teint Couture Long Wearing Fluid Foundation. I will be taking this on a beauty blender. In my original video, I actually used the Givenchy sponge, and I did not like it very much. I will be honest, it was not horrible. I'm just not entirely used to the shape of the sponge. It was not bad for concealer, but I really did not like it for foundation. And it made the foundation sit really weird because it's quite a dense sponge for what it is. So rather than hate how my foundation looks, I'm just going to use a tool I know I like. And I can tell you already, this looks so much better than it did last time. This is meant to be a slightly like radiant foundation, not like super glowy, but definitely not a full-on matte. For concealer, I've used the NARS Radiant Creamy before. You guys have seen it quite a few times, but the color was always a little off, and they did recently expand their shade. This is the shade 2.5 Creme Brulee, and it is a little bit darker, but a little pinker than the shade I used to have, which I believe was Cannelle. So now that I have a shade that actually works for me, I used to use so little of this concealer that I feel like I wasn't doing anything because the shade didn't work. And taking that same sponge, we're going to blend it out. So I haven't used this in so long that I am actually adding a little more coverage because it's not exactly concealing everything I want to cover. I remember this concealer having much better coverage than this, but that could just be because the shade was so wrong that it was super noticeable. But I feel like my under eyes have definitely looked better. Like I still have discoloration coming through, and hopefully this can be reconciled by the powder. For powder today, this is the translucent setting powder from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is a new launch. Sorry, I'm just shaking it to get some powder out. Ooh. Okay, so a lot of... Ooh, okay. I definitely love a translucent powder. Lately, I've been using more tinted powders because that seems to be the trend. But this is the shade that is the true translucent. So I'm going to start by pressing this into the under eye. And I will be taking this on a fluffy brush. And I will be using this to set the entire face. So that actually did kind of take everything up a little bit in coverage. It did set everything down nicely and everything has a nice matte finish. So I'm really not mad about that, although my hair is an absolute mess. For bronzer, this is going to be the Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 100. I heard the Taylor, her name's Taylor, she's here on YouTube. She raves about this bronzer, so I'm going to use this to both bronze and contour today. It's definitely a very appropriate shade for how fair I am right now. And then taking a slightly denser brush, I'm just going to make sure that I take this really tight to the temples. This is something I'll do if I'm taking the same shade to bronze and contour. I will typically just go in with a denser brush just to make sure that it is much more focused on the cheek and chin. I'm going to use that same shade to contour the nose. So I have a love-hate relationship with Benefit brow products, but I did recently get the shade 3.5 in the Precisely My Brow, and I'm going to try that today because I love the formulas of the Benefit brow products, but I feel like I can never find a shade that I really like, and I think I might have found it with this one. It's definitely more of like a soft ashy brown, which is what I tend to go for. But you guys know I like a pretty soft brow. I just enhance what I already have there, and that's about it. So I don't have a new eye primer, so I am going to take my MAC paint pot as always, and I'm going to set down my lids, and I'll be right back. All right, so eyes are primed, and you'll notice the brushes I'm using are, I'm throwing them, different than what I normally use. These were sent to me. They are the Violet Voss Rose Gold Brush Collection. I've been using these for a few weeks, and they are super soft, and I'm really a fan of how they wear and apply makeup. They're just like really pretty. My only downside, they're not numbered, so it's not like this is the Violet Voss #1. So it's going to be difficult to like communicate which one I'm using. But if you are in the market for like a one and done brush set, this one is really nice. And the only product today that is not like new is going to be blush, because I don't have a new-ish blush. So I'm going to dip into the Make Them Blush Hush Blush from Pretty Vulgar, because I saw it in my drawer and I haven't used it in a very long time. And I'm just going to add a little bit of a mauve-y color to the cheeks. For a highlight today, this is like what sparked this video. This is the new loose highlighting face powder from the Airspun line. You know I love the Coty Airspun powder, but now that there is also a Coty Airspun loose highlighter, you know I have to try it. So I'm just going to take that on my Jeffree Star Morphe highlighting brush and add that to the cheeks. So as you guys can see, it is glowy, it is frosty, it is quite icy, and it's really pretty. It does start off pretty natural, so you can get this to be a little bit more of like a soft glow. But you guys know I'm not really a soft glow kind of guy. I like to be a little more blinding. So I am going to really glow today. But look how beautiful that is. What I will say is it is accentuating a little bit of texture here, but I also didn't go in with like a normal blurring primer like I normally do. I did try a new one, which is pretty good for keeping things matte, but I don't see it as very blurring. So for eye, last time I did use the Kaja Bento box, which has some really beautiful tones in it, but these iridescent colors are nice toppers. As eyeshadows on their own, I did not love them. So instead, I'm going to be dipping into my Jackie Aina palette because I have yet to use the purpley shades. So I'm going to do that today. So I'm going to start by grabbing a fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to take the shade Supreme, the pink shade up here, and I'm going to dust that in the transition area. We're going super purpley and pinky today, because I'm surprised that's not the first look I did when I first grabbed the palette. On the same brush, I'm going to go into pink, you can't even see, to pinker right here, which is a little more mauve-y, and I'm going to really concentrate that on the outermost portion of the eye. This is such an interesting shade just because it's translating a little mauve-y, a little red, a little, I mean, it's called pinker. It's definitely a little on the pink side, but it's just such an interesting shade that I'm almost having trouble describing how it is translating. Next, I'm going to take Shookington, the purple shade. I'm going to load that on a packing brush which I am going to spray with a little Fix Plus, and I'm going to press that on the lid. That is a really pretty purple. So once I apply the wet, I do like to take a little bit of the same shadow dry, just to build it up a little bit, and just kind of sweep away any fallout. Then I'm just going to softly blend that out. Then I'm going to take a little bit of Credit, the dark brown, and I'm just going to deepen up the outer V of the eye. Next, I'm going to throw a purple liner in the waterline. And I'm going to take a small smudgy pencil brush, and I'm just going to set down that liner with Bigwig, the matte purple. Then on a denser pencil brush, I'm going to go into Pinker again, and I'm just going to blend out the outermost portion of the under eye just to kind of mirror the top. Then going into Ginger down here, I'm just going to lightly blend out the entire under eye. Then grabbing my Anastasia powder one more time, I'm just going to kind of reset down the under eye just to re-brighten it. And this is going to help to control a little bit of that smokiness. Because you know, guys, I like to go a little more grungy and a little smoky. But that's not exactly the vibe I'm going for today. So I do want to kind of clean up a little bit of that smokiness to make it a little bit more well blended. With that first brush, I'm just going to kind of blend around the entire eye to make sure everything is clean, neat, and well blended. Then going into the loose highlighter, we're just going to hit up the inner corner. Those purples blended beautifully. It's definitely more of like a purple eye and not a purple smoky eye. You know I like my smoky, but I'm going to now take some of the Jeffree Star Starberry Setting Spray and just lock everything in place. All right, so for mascara, I am going to be using the Shiseido Controlled Chaos Mascara, and I'm going to apply that on camera so you can see it. And I will be applying lashes just because with a look this vibrant and colorful and purple, I feel like I kind of need a lash. So we're going to take a little bit of this mascara. Yes, this is a travel size. And I'm just going to coat my lashes. That definitely is giving me some great volume right off the bat. On its own, I think it's actually giving me some great definition to my lashes, to the point where I'm almost inclined to not put on lashes, but I will. Violet Voss did send me the Sexy and I Know It lash, so I'm going to pop these on, and I'll be right back. So I put on one lash, and this is definitely a lot more dramatic than I wanted to go today. So I am actually going to pull the lashes off, just kind of double up on my mascara, and then I'll be right back, because this is a little more intense than I want. Alright, so I layered the mascara up, and it actually layered quite nicely, so I'm actually very happy with that. Since I am skipping mascara, or I'm skipping lashes, that means we are up to lip. So the trio I'm going to be using is all from NARS. I'm going to start by grabbing the Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in the shade Dance Fever, and I'm going to use this as like a liner to line my lips and just to give some color. So that might be like the easiest lip line application I have had in a very long time. So hopefully the lipstick is just as good. This is the Dolce Vita lipstick, which is a sheer like pinky nude. That actually works perfectly with the lip crayon. Yeah, those two colors work perfectly together. It's just adding a little bit of shine and glossiness to the lip. Almost to the point where I don't think I need a gloss, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's me. So I'm going to take the Orgasm Oil Infused Lip Tint, and I'm going to throw that right on top. I think the lip combo is something that you guys are definitely going to see again. It's definitely a little bit more of like a red toned nude compared to what I was going for. I kind of wanted a little more pinky to go with the eyes, but honestly, I am not upset by it. So I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown. So, as I close the lash box. The primer, I don't look or feel shiny, so it's definitely helping with oil control. So I did wear this entire complexion combination before when I filmed this video the first time, so I definitely think as far as long wearing nature, this is really good if you want to like control your shine a little bit and really help everything. I don't think it's quite enough blurring for what I like out of a primer. I can still see the pores around my nose. The foundation concealer combo I do like. I think that this is something, a concealer I will use a little bit more on a natural day. I don't think it's quite as much as I like on a day where I'm doing a bold smoky purple eye, but the foundation is actually quite pretty, and I think with the powder on top, it's just the right healthy amount of glow. The powder is beautiful. You will be seeing this again. I will have to check to see if there's a white cast, but the one time I tried to use this in flash photos, I did not see a lot of shine, which was great. I think I could have got away with using a shade a little bit darker or maybe just layering this one up a little bit. I'm going to do that now and just kind of take a little bit more bronzer just to kind of warm up the cheeks a little more. Yeah, no, that's layering up beautifully. So the bronzer is definitely a hit. I think you guys are going to be seeing a lot more of this, especially on some of my affordable videos. The setting spray you guys already know is beautiful. I love the scent. The eyeshadow palette blended to perfection. Ooh, I forgot to use the eye topper. I'm going to do that too. But the airspun powder, do you see these inner corners? So stunning. For the eye topper, I'm going to grab this one because it's like a pinky purple shift. And I'm just going to grab that on the same brush I used for everything else before. And I'm just going to add a touch of this to the center of the lid. Honestly, that's just making it look a little bit more grungy. I don't think it's doing anything but kind of tone the purple. Yeah, that's not really doing much. It's pretty, don't get me wrong, but I think these are better on their own and not used as like a topper over things because they just kind of get lost. The lip combination is the winner. I think I'm in love with the way the lip is turning out. The mascara was also really pretty. You will definitely be seeing that again. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know down below. What of these products do you have your eye on and what do you think worked out really well? Thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.